But what be going on with this Teo dude though, man? I be seeing these videos online of him making racist comments. You be seeing that, man?
I think he's an attention seeker. So even with the racist comments, even with the homo stuff that he was doing, I think he's just a big attention seeker. He gonna do anything to get attention on him, and I think it's gonna backfire come January 31st.
And I heard you say that you and Floyd spoke about this fight.
No, I ain't really asked him advice about the fight. When I talk to him, we talk about different things, but he just was telling me that I should be the A side in the fight. That's what I said.
You not the A side? You a bigger name than Teo.
I am the bigger name. I should be the A side, but also he has the belt, so I get why they would make him the A side. So I don't know who's the A side, B side. I can't even tell you. I think we find out on fight night. So I think right now it's being pushed as Teofimo Shakur.
Do you like this position?
That I'm someone that, you know, is all about against all odds. I've been like that since me winning the 2015 U.S. Olympic trials and didn't, you know, have my spot for the Olympic berth and to represent Team USA in 2016 Olympic Games. I think my whole thing's always been that way, you know. So even Richard Comey, you know, when I won my first world title back in 2019 at 22, against the champion himself, you know, a lot of the odds were always against me, and I think that's when I performed my best, and I look forward to doing that again. You know, all this has led me to now, this moment in time. So I can't wait to really execute it. And can the odds go even higher, make it 4-1, 5-1? I want to break the bank.
Gonna bet on yourself?
I damn well. Well, I first encountered with Shakur back in, I think, 2011 or 2012 Junior National Golden Gloves. Standout kid for sure. Had a lot of charisma, had a lot of swag. New York, New Jersey style. You could definitely see that. I ended up making it to the finals, didn't get the win. And then he got his win, got the glory on that in a different weight class. But he cheered me back up. You know, I was crying in the back. And then there was another time, 2015, National Golden Gloves. I won it, and he didn't. He was down, he was crying, and just picked him back up, you know. But nevertheless, now it's come to the point in the pros where we're gonna face each other, and there's no remorse in this one.
This fight was always going to happen, even from the early days when they were both on the rise and watching each other from afar. Shakur agrees, saying that he has been following Teofimo for a very long time, even before the fame, and seeing the work that he was putting in. Teofimo believes that this fight was always going to happen, even from the early days when they were both on the rise and watching each other from afar. Shakur agrees, saying that he has been following Teofimo for a very long time, even before the fame, and seeing the work that he was putting in.
And another thing, he has the ability to hurt Shakur too. I don't believe Shakur has the ability to hurt him. You know, but Shakur it could be a long motherfucking night too, because if Gordo goes out there, Teofimo Lopez goes out there, and he don't mash the gas and he want to sit on his back foot and wait and try to bullshit around, Shakur going pot shot his ass all the way through. It's gonna be a long night. All 12 is going to be a long night.
Teofimo kept it respectful at times during the interview, but there was clear pressure in the way he talked about Shakur. He made it sound like all the talk about resumes and who has done more does not really matter right now, because in his mind, this fight is just the beginning of something bigger.
You know, in boxing, so to speak, he's coming for my crown at the, you know, super lightweight division. And honestly, nevertheless, it's all about the fans.
Who has a better resume between you two guys, do you think?
Man, I'll tell you again, honestly, it doesn't matter until we hang up the gloves. I think that we still have such a long, depending how well we do with our health, we got a long career ahead of us, man. So this is just something for everybody for 2026. We started off with a bang.
Teofimo also pushed back on the idea that his power has faded and made it clear that fighters feel it once they are in front of him. He basically suggested that Shakur has not dealt with this kind of strength before, especially at 140. He talked about Shakur moving up in weight like it is a problem waiting to happen, and hinted that Shakur is not lasting the full fight.
Are you training?
You mean at 140 pounds
140
compared to 135? Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
in comparison.
Yeah.
Are you training for a knockout? Are you training to do something to not just beat Shakur, but to beat him in grand fashion? When I say grand fashion, I mean going for the knockout.
Well, I think that the whole thing with is the Bible of boxing really is that if you look for the knockout, you won't get it. You know, I think really it's just all about setting the good pace early in the beginning rounds and then going from there, setting that tone. I think that I don't see him going those 12 rounds. This is his first time moving up to 140. A lot of these guys could say a lot of things about me not knocking them out or whatnot, but they don't come and try to fight me after they feel this power. So it's for a reason. It carries. It does carry. I mean, I had a good showing with Arnold Barboza. He was #1, my mandatory, and he was too hesitant trying to commit to punches. So I think that it's just something that's going to be a rude awakening for Shakur.
Teofimo also leaned into the underdog role and used it as fuel against Shakur. He pointed out how people keep picking against him and how that usually brings out his best performances. By doing that, he flipped the odds talking to motivation and made it sound like Shakur being favored is a mistake people will regret.
I don't agree with that. I think this is a very tough fight to pick. But for you, right, it seems like every time the odds are stacked against you, every time people are picking against you, whether it's the Lomachenko fight, people said it was too soon for you, or the Josh Taylor fight, when there seemed to be chaos swirling around you in your personal life, and that was one of your best performances. Do you like this position?
That I'm someone that, you know, is all about against all odds. I've been like that since me winning the 2015 U.S. Olympic trials and didn't, you know, have my spot for the Olympic berth and to represent Team USA in 2016 Olympic Games. I think my whole thing's always been that way, you know. So even Richard Comey, you know, when I won my first world title back in 2019 at 22, against the champion himself, you know, a lot of the odds were always against me, and I think that's when I performed my best, and I look forward to doing that again. You know, all this has led me to now, this moment in time. So I can't wait to really execute it. And can the odds go even higher, make it 4-1, 5-1? I want to break the bank.
Even when he was talking about sparring, Teofimo was in control of the narrative. He said it was light sparring, just feeling each other out, not real fighting. This shows that Shakur does not have the answers for him yet. He ended that part by saying that this time is different because they are both on top now, which seemed like a message that Shakur will see a different version of him that he has not seen before.
Yeah, we did. I think I was 17. Yeah, I think I was 17 at the time. He was fighting for the World Series of Boxing, I think it was, something in that nature for the amateurs. It was like semi-pro. And I think he was getting ready that week. We did like a, honestly, I'll say we did more of a sizing rather than a full combat sparring because it was only 3 rounds. So same thing with fellows like, you know, Gervonta Tank Davis. I think it's really just sizing. So it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out this time around when we're at the pinnacle of our career.
When it came to Shakur, he made it clear that this fight with Teofimo was his choice, not something pushed on him. He said he wanted this because he felt he needed a real test, not an easy name. He knows how good Teofimo is, he knows the level he is on, and that is exactly why he went for it. He also explained why Teofimo made more sense than other options. He talked about how Teofimo has already done things in the sport that matter, being undisputed and winning belts in different weight classes.
Yeah. I actually set this fight up, and I honestly did it because I wanted to push myself. I know that Teo is a tremendous fighter. I know he's on an extremely high level, and I feel like, well, I know that I can beat him, but I know that this should be a tough test, so I'm ready.
Who were some of the other options you had?
Lamont Roach.
That would have been a real good fight, man. But I mean, Teo, he's a bigger name though, so I see why you went with him.
Yeah, bigger name, and also he got the more accolades. He's been undisputed before. He's won belts at 35, won belts at 30, at 40. So he's more accomplished. So I know that would be a better name on my resume.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that this is gonna be a tough fight for you.
I mean, they absolutely right to have their opinion. I already know this guy's good. I done came up in the amateurs with him. I chose this for that reason. Like, I chose this because I wanted to.
When it came to the fight itself, Shakur said he did not go into any fight planning to edge it or leave it close. He wants to be clearly better, round by round, so judges do not even come into the conversation. He said that his mindset stays the same no matter who is in front of him. Against Teofimo, that feeling is even stronger because he knows how dangerous and smart he is. Shakur also talked about what this fight does for his legacy. He He believes beating Teofimo the right way puts him right at the top of the sport and changes how people talk about him.
I want to be dominant. I don't care who in front of me. I want to dominate. I want to beat you to where judges don't feel like they can rob me. So I always got that feeling. I always got that chip on my shoulder.
If you do win this fight, what do you think it does for your career?
I think it put me top 5 pound for pound. I think it puts me like one of the best fighters in my era. I think it just established that I'm that guy. Like, I be one of the 4 kings that they call the 4 kings, and it also depends on the fashion that I do it. So, gonna be interesting.
Antonio Tarver broke down fight styles based on where the action takes place. Shakur's advantage is his ability to control space, stay in the center, and create sharp angles. When he is forced back or along the ropes, trouble is brewing. That's Lopez's opportunity, as everything is different when he is pressured. If Lopez continues to throw, it will make Shakur think, pause, and second guess himself.
Yeah, if you see Shakur controlling the distance, giving him angles, keeping that fight sort of in the middle, you gotta favor Shakur. But if he's on the back foot, if he's on the ropes, I mean, that's going to give Teofimo a lot of opportunities. And what makes Teofimo, I believe, dangerous in this fight, he throws both hands in succession. He's a combination type puncher, and that always serves well if you got a real slick defensive fighter in there.
Conditioning and mindset were another big point for Tarver. If the fight stays clean and technical, he slightly leaned towards Shakur on points, but he kept coming back to Lopez's stamina, saying if this goes late, Lopez is the kind of fighter who can still push forward in the championship rounds. He also noted that both fighters must be locked in outside the ring because a mental distraction can quickly turn a close fight.
Yeah, I mean, smart money would be on the boxer, Shakur Stevenson, winning the decision. But, if Lopez can make this fight, a lot tougher than expected, and he's going to have to exchange with Shakur. He's a fast fighter. We don't know who's the quickest or fastest here. You have to give the speed edge to Shakur. But if Lopez can punch with this fast guy, make him a little bit cautious and a little bit leery of what's coming back, that serves him well. But Teofimo is one of the best conditioned fighters out there. If this fight goes late, you can expect him to be pushing forward round 9, 10, and 11 if it goes late.
Robert Garcia saw this as a fight where the skill is already there on both corners, but now it will be a test of who thinks better in the ring. He felt this was not the kind of fight where a guy could just rush in and expect things to go his way. It was about patience, good timing, and making smart choices round by round. In his view, the fighter who stays calm and avoids small mistakes is the one who pulls ahead little by little, as this bout does not leave any room for making blunders. He also liked that this fight is happening now, with both guys still young and close to their best. Garcia made it clear that this is how big fights should be made, not when one fighter is past it. He expects moments where the action slows, but the tension stays high because both are waiting to land something clean. Gary Russell leaned toward the idea that thinking beats raw physical ability in this fight. That is why he slightly favored Shakur, even though he made it clear that this matchup is very close to him. Shakur's strength is sticking to what he does best. If Shakur keeps the fight in that rhythm and does not get pulled into chaos, Gary feels he puts himself in a strong position to win rounds consistently. At the same time, Gary did not downplay Lopez at all. He explained that Lopez can flip the fight if he applies pressure the right way. Gary felt that when Lopez throws more punches in those moments, it can change how judges see the round and push Shakur onto the back foot. He also pointed out that Lopez has the power to make Shakur uncomfortable, which adds another layer of danger if Lopez commits to that game plan. Greg Hackett's prediction leaned toward Shakur. He kept saying his mind goes back and forth because Teo is dangerous when you strip away all the outside noise and just look at the fighter. In his view, Teo is still strong, fast, explosive, and unpredictable, and that alone makes him hard to ignore. Greg admitted that part of him keeps thinking about scenarios where Teo catches Shakur or just outworks him with pressure. Still, he landed on Shakur by decision because Shakur understands how to win rounds, manage moments, and stay prepared for big fights. Where Greg really drew the line was in how Teo would need to fight even to have a real shot. He felt Teo could not afford to sit back and play a calm chess-style game with Shakur because that would play straight into Shakur's strengths. In his eyes, Teo would have to become more aggressive than we have ever seen, rougher, busier, and willing to throw combinations instead of loading up on one big shot. He pointed out that Shakur punishes mistakes fast, especially when opponents miss and pause. That is why Greg stayed with Shakur in the end. At the end of the day, this fight comes down to pride, timing, and who really believes they own that ring. Teofimo sees this as someone stepping into his territory and trying to take what he built. Shakur sees it as being underestimated and disrespected, especially when people talk like they already know the ending. Once that cage door closes, none of the past talk will matter. Who do you think takes this fight? Drop your pick in the comments and tell us how you see it ending.